Our final disciple for this hero series is Paul. Although Paul was not one of the original 12, he calls himself an apostle of Jesus Christ because he was called by Jesus. Unlike most of the 12, a lot is known about Paul. After all, he wrote 14 of the 27 New Testament books. He was a Pharisee of Pharisees, dedicated to his calling to uphold the Jewish law. He was originally Saul of Tarsus, a Roman citizen, which saves his life more than once during his ministry. As a young boy, Paul showed so much promise in his studies that he was sent to Jerusalem to study under a Jewish leader, Gamaliel. He spoke and wrote both Aramaic or Hebrew and Greek and was highly educated, especially in philosophy and Jewish law, which is how he can talk to Gentile people about Jesus. He persecuted the early Christians, followers of the way, until he met Jesus in a dramatic conversion experience. He knew fame and fortune, as well as poverty, hunger, abuse, and suffering. He ended up being beheaded by the Emperor Nero, but has left a legacy for the whole world in his writings. There is a non-canonical book called The Acts of Paul, which has a description of this heroic man. I'm going to read it for you now. A man of small stature, with a bald head and crooked legs, in a good state of body, with eyebrows meeting and a nose somewhat hooked. It's not a flattering description, is it? But our looks do not define what's in our hearts. How often we tend to regard a person by their looks. Imagine if Paul had allowed his appearance to define who he would become. You are beautifully and wonderfully made in the image of God. Be that person this week.